Hey folks, yep, I'm back on here. It's early in the morning, as usual. A lot of folks. I'm going to say this on here just to clear up some stuff from yesterday's video that I posted. Folks can be multitask. I'm one of those guys. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to talk about what's going on again. And this is not a hope video. This is more of what I'm going to be talking about when it comes to race. Unfortunately, got to talk about it. So it ties into the Ruskies. It ties into Europe, and it ties into the United States, and it ties into Australia, and it ties into New Zealand, and it ties into Canada. Anybody recognize what all those have in common? Okay. Folks may not realize this. Aside from the Ruskies, all those other places that I named, we have an organization, and it's public knowledge. You can get on Wikipedia. You might even do it while I'm talking. And it's called the Seven Eyes. Let's start here. I'm a pattern recognition guy. Folks that follow me for a long time kind of know that's how I operate. It's some people call it a gift. I call it like a curse. But I'm starting to realize that it actually helps me because it helps me with my music, being a pattern recognition guy. Okay. And so the Seven Eyes thing I've known about since I was a child, because we'll get into that in a future video. So did you notice that all those different countries those different places that I named countries? Right. Okay. So here's the deal, folks. Here's the deal. I've made videos about it. Go back and check them out. And it's particularly the ones about the percentage of Caucasian people that are on the planet. Okay. It's a very small percentage. You can get online yourself and check it out. I'm not making this stuff up, but I'm a pattern recognition guy. So you can find at any given place, I've said this in other videos, it may sound repetitive to the people that follow me for a while, between 1 and 10% of the entire population of the planet Earth are Caucasian people. Now, for my European of descent, Caucasian, YT, white, whatever you like to be called, for you guys, first of all, the white black thing is a construct. That's a made up thing. Okay, we're human beings. But the white black thing was made up way back 15th, 16th century, when it really started with the Portuguese, where they went down to the continent of Africa and saw that they could use this labor that they end up using as slaves. They could use really quick. I got to say this before we get into the other stuff. They went down there. They got those folks, my folk, brought them back up to Portugal, used them as slaves because the slaves that they had, they did have slaves, but they were the same complexion, non-melanated like they were. So whenever those folks decided they didn't want to be slaves anymore and tried to escape and get away and do this, it was hard for the Portuguese to keep them contained, because then once they escaped, if you follow what I'm saying, once they escaped, they could blend in with society. So they had a bright idea. Well, let's go down here, down to the continent of Africa, grab those folks up. And we're not going to get into how they did all the deals and everything with weapons and all that, and the different, that's a whole nother video in and of itself. But they got those folks and brought, let's bring them up and let's use them as slaves. So in case they decide to break away and leave, and we can identify them. We know that they're slaves. That's one of the origins of how the black white thing came about. And they called it that. They're black, I'm white. That's how it started. One of the places. But of course, all of Europe, not everybody in Europe, obviously, but we know which ones. Portugal, England, right? Those two in particular. The Spaniards, Spain, there's three. And then they decided, hey, you know what? Let's go down there and do the same thing. But then they went down and did it for their own purposes. And it goes on and on and on and on. And then, of course, that's why I said when I talk about this, we're going to go way back. But folks need to understand what's going on. So then when the United States came on the scene, the United States, the colonies here, were already familiar with what was going on over in their parent land of England, the United Kingdom. So they knew about the whole slave concept. So the United States, that was just colonies originally, realized that we cannot do this labor over here. We're not built for it, and we don't have enough labor because we're just a small colony to till the fields and to pick the cotton and do the sugar. So then they said, well, let us go over and let's go get us some slaves. And that's how that started. Now, let's come on way back. I know, stay with me. You guys know I make long videos. So now you got 7 eyes. And I already mentioned between 1 and 10% of the entire population. So not only the 7 eyes, but now let's go ahead and include the Ruskies. Yep. Okay. So what makes up that population predominantly? Okay, so you got that. So let me just go ahead and I'm gonna say it. I've never seen it written anywhere or said anywhere. Let's just call it the 8 eyes. Okay, because we all know that the Ruskies were involved with our past election. Are you following what I'm saying? Okay, let me jump in here really quick. This video is for entertainment, education, and information purposes only. This video is for entertainment, education, and information purposes only. Now, I don't give a shit if they block this or take it off or deny, violates. Doesn't matter anymore because I'm end up getting off of here anyway. So I hope this video at least gets out there for the time being. I would love for it to stay on here, obviously, because it's information. So we talked about the 1 to 10% of the entire population. So here's the deal, folks. I did a whole video on this. Go back and look at it. It's the video where I unfortunately erred in my ways by making that video without a shirt on. Okay. And folks brought it to my attention. Man, it would have been more effective if you did. And it was, of course, the opposite sex. It would have been more effective if you had done that video with your shirt on. Okay, so that was my mistake, but I reposted it. So go back and check it out. You'll notice it because I don't have my shirt on, right? And it's kind of a yellowish theme going on. Go back because it'll be easy to find just because I said that. All right. So here's the deal, y'all. Here's the deal. The population of the non-melanated people on the planet Earth is declining on the entire planet. This is I've said it in other videos. This is a global thing. Okay? So when folks have been jumping in my comments and saying, oh, so now the election was lost, so you're making it a black-white thing. Not the way you think that I'm making it a black-white thing, because I also am educated enough to know that all non-melanated people are not bad people. I do understand that. Okay? Please understand that I understand that. All right? The non-melanated people that just don't know what's going on are just like most other people that are melanated, just don't know what's going on because they're distracted by everything else that these folks, the reality that they've made for us, not me, but the reality that they've made for us, they're all caught up in it. We call it the matrix. Okay? So don't jump in my comments and saying he's making this a black-white thing. I am not. I'm trying to inform and educate you. All right. So here we are. So the white folk, let's call them the white folk that are here in the United States of America in particular, the population here, specifically in the United States, not Europe, not Australia, not Canada, not New Zealand, and not over in Ruski. Just here. The population in the United States of America has been falling off exponentially since the 50s, the 1950s, right before the period of where I came into existence. These folks that are running our government, they know it. Okay? And so, folks would ask, how is it that the Democrats, because folks have pointed me in a lot of different directions about the Democrats have failed us. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit on that based on this concept that I have going on here. How is it that they let us down? How did they let this happen? So if you've been paying attention to everything else I just said before this, all kind of bells and whistles should be going off for you. Yeah, but it was Kamala Harris. Yeah, but Kamala Harris was the vice president. Yeah, but Barack Obama, Barack Obama was in office for 8 years, and the success that we thought that he could have was never going to happen. Yeah, but what about? Let me explain that. The powers that be. Remember, the United States was not founded by melanated people. Okay? The powers that be are founded by non-melanated people. This is their reality. They created this. We, the people that are melanated, made their system work, made them wealthy, continues to make, to this day, continues to make them wealthy. You follow me so far? So understand that the browning of America, if I'm aware of it, if little old me is aware of it, you must know that they are aware of it and they're doing everything in their power to stop the exponential growth of melanated people in this country, which not only includes people that look like me, but the folks that are coming in to the country, right? That are melanated. Does it sound, my favorite saying, out of bounds? No. Fanciful? No. You're watching it happen. And you're watching that guy use the same handbook that the guy with the little mustache used overseas. So, I just had to come on here. I told you guys I would be on here today. That is a 30,000 foot looking down on what's going on. I don't want to be consumed with this. This is stuff that I've known for years. Okay? Was I hopeful? Of course I was hopeful. And now I see that everything that's been up here for all these years actually came to fruition. because the powers that be. Now remember, folks, y'all got to understand this. The president of the United States is not the person calling the shots. You guys have heard me refer to, you guys, the old money, the old guard. Remember, I used the old guard thinking it would be the military that would save us. They're there, but the old guard can be, that same term can be used for the folks that I mentioned yesterday, folks that have paintings of their ancestors in their homes. That old guard. The ones that they can trace their heritage all the way back to the beginning of this country. Let me say this, folks. If I can get onto Ancestry.com and track my people all the way back to almost 1800, do y'all not think that they still have connection? Of course I don't, because they wouldn't let us. We were slaves. My people are from Virginia. So when I do all of my background on me, it's all Virginia. Right? I'm pointing down here. Okay? So if I can do that, they can do that, and they've always had the power here and have made gazillions of dollars off of melanated people's backs and continue to do that. Not only my folk, but the folks that are coming in here to try to find a better life. Is it all making sense? I'm trying to do this as a big overview. As I said yesterday, the day before, there's a lot of things I'm trying to do in my life. I'm trying to do stuff. I am a creator. I'm an artist. I play the piano, which you guys have not heard yet, but I play the piano. I produce music. I've got music that I've produced from way back. Maybe one day you'll hear it, especially if you come on over to YouTube. There are things that I want to talk about. Ancient civilizations. This civilization that we're living in right now is not the first one here. Do you guys understand what I'm saying to you? That's why I keep using the term their reality. They've created this reality for us. It's not our authentic reality. This is a man-made creation. See how I'm tying it all together here? So I'm not going to be on TikTok, okay, for much longer. Just understand that. So most of what you're hearing here will be over on YouTube. The things that you're hearing me talk about right now probably is not going to be on Red Note, because I don't want, it's like going in somebody else's house, right? You don't want to act. Remember I said don't go in over there acting a fool. I'm that guy. Don't go over there talking a whole bunch of crap. This is their house over there. So there are things that we can talk about on an intellectual, humor, whatever, science, whatever. But I don't want to bring our garbage over to that community. Are you following what I'm saying? So what I'm talking about on here would be on YouTube. Because on YouTube, it just won't be content like this. YouTube has playlists. They're not formed. I think I have one, the one that you see on YouTube right now is just that. I have a whole list of playlists so we can organize under topics. That's what makes YouTube so great, which you couldn't do. Well, you can kind of do it on TikTok, but TikTok, I'm leaving TikTok. YouTube, this kind of content will be there if that's what you want to hear. And then I can go on with my life and say, because my mind is all over the place, I can say, well, today I'm gonna talk about slavery. Okay, well, today I'm gonna talk about the universe and how the planet. Well, okay, today I'm gonna talk about music theory. Okay, well, today I'm gonna talk about life and the things that you can do to better your life. Okay, today I'm gonna talk about sports. See, and I can put it in playlists. So that's why I made this video today, because I promised you before I went to bed last night that I would start talking about how we got here. So let me bring it all the way home, folks. Am I disappointed? Absolutely. I thought we could get over the hump with this last election. But my gut has always known what's going on. I was hopeful, absolutely. But now that they got what they want back, okay? I'm talking about the original folk that formed the colonies. Now that they've got that power back, believe me, it's going to be generation, not mine, not the next one. This is what I'm thinking. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. Based on the plight of non-melanated people, not just in the United States, but globally, it's going to be a very, very long time before things get back to some kind of democratic way. Before I get off of here, just to add to the statistics of the browning of America and the globe. First of all, when you talk about 1 to 10% of the planet is non-melanated people, the planet's already brown, folks. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's already brown. They hoodwinked, unalived folks, raped folks, pillaged communities all over the planet. What I'm saying is a truism. See? Every time I say something is true, you get kind of like butterfly, goose, right? That's you now starting to be free, your mind. And from this point on, whenever because remember, this is their reality that you're living in. So when you look at, say for instance, do me this favor. This is your homework assignment for everybody. Folks like the homework assignments. When you watch your favorite television program, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the commercials that come on. Okay. Now you're going to start being a critical thinker. Notice even thumbnails. Like I'm looking over at I have it on Netflix, and all the different screensavers, featuring the films that are on Netflix are popping up as I'm talking to you. In the background, 90% of them are non-melanated people's faces that are coming up on the screen, and the sound is down. Same thing with commercials. So when you're watching commercials, whether it's laundry detergent or whatever, what do you notice? Yeah, we're sprinkled in there. Yeah, we're sprinkled in there. Some of the other commercials you want to look out for in these commercials, the themes are mixed couples. Even same sex commercials. Why? Why do they do that? Because they're trying to make you feel like you're part of this. Right? Are you following what I'm saying? So look at sports. Look at football. Look at basketball, NBA, NFL. What's the percentage of people that you see run around on the field? They're melanated, non-melanated. Right? Okay. See how it all tie together? So who owns those teams? You just get a chill run all through you. I know you already know this, but I'm trying to put the big picture. This is global, and it's now right in front of us right now in the United States. It's happening. It's always been happening, but I'm saying as a result of this past election, and this, so when I'm talking about race, like I said, I started off by saying the folks that are non-melanated that are watching this, I hope this is even enlightening you. You're part of the matrix. So I'm really going to get off of here I know this is going long because there's so much stuff that I want to talk about, and I had a good night's sleep. Look, folks, the people that voted in this past election, even though we know it was tampered, we know all that. We got it. However, the exit polls didn't lie. People that look like me, we did our part because we're still hopeful. We live here, so we're hopeful still. But guess who else is hopeful? The other group of people, the exit polls proved this, particularly the non-melanated women proved that they also understand their lot in life, their station in life. We call it white privilege. It's a thing. That's a thing. And they understand or understood because they've already voted that they'll be okay. They'll be okay with a dictator. Yeah, they'll be okay with a dictator. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to leave it right there. I hope to see you guys over on YouTube. Okay? Swing on over. There's only 2 things up there right now, but I promise you there'll be things coming. But here's the deal. I did say this in another video. YouTube is different than TikTok and all these other platforms. I won't be making things on YouTube as frequently as I do with TikTok. It's a channel, so it's more of a production thing. And I like to be, I want my stuff to be okay looking at least. I'm not a professional, but I want it to look decent. So it's going to take a time. So let's start with, I said this in another video, let's start with maybe once a week putting stuff on YouTube, maybe twice, because because the silly season's over, now I'm starting to prepare. I'm going to be up out of this camp. Like I said, I was only here to get through this silly season. That's it. Other than that, I wouldn't even been here. Now I'd have been here to come check, my cat. But you guys know. All right. I know that was long. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in another video.